Ah, yes, cults. I ran into a video on here where somebody had moved to AZ, and one of the first things they ran into was a cult. Apparently they met somebody online and they were just gonna go and do something, and then that person was not transparent about what to expect on this trip or whatever. And it ended up getting really weird. And thankfully that person managed to get away. And it was apparently somewhere here in the desert, here in AZ. And I will say that thankfully I have not run into anything like what she described. But that is creepy. Most witchy spiritual people that I know in my local community, they're pretty transparent about what to expect at an event, so you could decide if you want to attend or not. There's no hidden secret of oh, we're just gonna go on a hike, and then all of a sudden they're doing weird chants and hand you a grapefruit and are put your intentions in the grape. What? That's weird. But I also kind of want to go into some more subtle things, because I have experienced cult-like behavior. Obviously I've made videos about that mentor. She definitely tried to start a cult and failed. I kind of want to go into more subtle things of how you know you're in a cult. If you join a kindred or a coven, and then all of a sudden it starts to get... The warning signs would have to be exactly that: transparency. If they're not clear about what to expect, or about their rules, or about this or that, then get out. I was in a group that, yeah, on the surface they seemed okay, and for the most part you knew to expect weird, witchy, pagan, spiritual stuff, okay. But they had this rule: do not bring kindred business outside of the kindred. And this rule was technically supposed to exist so you did not bring any kindred drama into the greater pagan community, which made sense. You don't want to start a huge witch war. As time went on, it started to seem more and more vague. And when I finally turned around and asked about what constitutes as kindred business, as it became, don't talk about anything that happens with people in the kindred. Don't talk about anything with anyone, including your family, your therapist, your spouse, rather than just keeping it out of the community. And the idea of what kindred business was vague enough that anything could be taken as kindred business, and if you started talking about it, all of a sudden you were told, that's kindred business, you're breaking the rule. It could be as harmless as, oh, I kind of agree that what we do with Elf on the Shelf is not so great. And then it's that's kindred business. Don't talk about that here. Or I could have a personal issue with somebody in the kindred that has nothing to do with the kindred, and it's kindred business. So I ended up asking, okay, what constitutes? And they were seriously? You don't understand? Got mad at me for trying to clarify what constituted as kindred business, and they could not freaking specify. And it created this weird sense of isolation, because the issue was I started to have problems with our leader. There were some things that our leader would say and do that were problematic, and if I tried to go to anybody in the group, they would defend him. They would be you just don't understand, no, he actually, and they would start gaslighting. So the only way that I could actually gain any sort of clarity about what was happening was to go to someone outside of the kindred and be hey, what do you think of this scenario? Does this sound odd to you? And by doing that, I was breaking the rules and in danger of not only getting kicked out, but then if I got kicked out, my reputation would be on the line, and the community would shun me for thinking I'm an oath breaker or a terrible person. I had to be very careful. That was why the rules started to get problematic, because it went from spread kindred drama to the rest of the community to don't ever talk about anything that goes on, period, with literally anyone. I could go to a private space And that would still be against the rules. I remember feeling like, oh my God, what if they find out that I was saying this or saying that to, like, what if the walls have ears? Even though I would literally just go to somebody in a very private space where there was no way they would know. But I was so afraid that they would somehow find out. So if they're not going to clarify their rules, if they're not going to answer your questions, if they're not going to tell you what to expect, and if they're going to pressure you into anything, and this is especially if you are new, get out. It's one thing to be like, yeah, don't go spreading drama everywhere and spreading rumors and being a total jerk. That makes sense. But when it becomes, you have to remain silent, the chief could molest you, the chief could do horrible things, and you better keep your damn mouth shut about it. For the record, the chief didn't do anything like that, thankfully. It's not to me. But he was just problematic in other ways. He made some outrageous claims about himself. So don't worry, I was mostly safe, but it was still really problematic.